If I was in my late teens to early 20s, what would I have done differently? For one thing, I wouldn't have went to college in the first place. While I do agree that um, while I do agree that education is important, I don't think that colleges and universities, the degrees are necessary. Like, I know people who never even went to university in the first place, and they're making a decent living, and they live in an apartment, and they don't have to worry about needing a degree for a job. Like, they're already well off. Well, not well off, but they're financially independent, as I would say. Um, being in school, being in college at the time did teach me a few lessons. For one, it did teach me how to be resourceful. It did connect me with people who, just like me, didn't want it to be there. They were just there for the stupid piece of paper. Um, but I think that looking back, I could have, I would have been better off without it. Instead, what I would have done is, for me personally, I would have probably just done a few odd jobs and make some money, look into possibly invest in, if I knew what stocks and shares and what's the other one? Index funds were at the time. If I had did more research on that and put my money to work for me, yeah, that would have been a good possibility. I would have done that. Again, if I had known about it, I would have done it. Um, what else would I have done differently? I would have. I probably would have saved up for a car. I mean, I still drive a car now, but um, it's interesting how quickly one learns that when you live in the US, you become super reliant on a car. Unless, of course, you live in a city, then all you can do is just take the buses and trains and subway and get around easily, because within a city, the public transportation is somewhat um, structured, so you can pretty much get around everywhere and anywhere you want to go within a city. But if you live like in the suburbs, if you live like in an open wide area where needing a car is of great importance, then of course, public transportation is a no-go. You need some wheels. So yeah, going back to what I just said, I think that if I had saved up for a car earlier, it would have started off with me building my credit. I would have had a vehicle to commute and get around places. Um, it would have been nice. But yeah, I think that's what I would have done differently. Like, skip going to college and university. Just do some jobs, try to get full-time employment, make some money, start throwing that money into investing, and then get a car to get around places. Would I have gotten an apartment now? Probably not. I think what people tend to overlook is that living with your parents is not a big deal. If you have a goal in mind, which is saving up for a house, then living with your parents is a benefit because you don't have to worry about putting the money towards rent or electricity